Hello, everybody, and welcome here to week 15 of the Prestige Cup Series here for the playoffs here at Phoenix Raceway here for the Folds of Honor 150 here from Phoenix Raceway here and just right outside of Phoenix, Arizona. We get ready to um, continue to kick off the races until we crown a champion here for the Prestige Cup Series. Obviously, only a couple of races left here for the Prestige Cup Series, and it's starting to get into that point where things are going to start to get antsy here. Only this is actually the penultimate race. We'll be get into next week at Homestead. So here I feel it's going to be a make or break for a lot of these drivers tonight. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here from Phoenix Raceway here for the Playoffs Cup Series. We'll see what we can do here, but just like that, we'll go ahead and see if we can find your point standings here. Unfortunately, cannot get with our graphics department to get the ticker updated, guys. But we'll go ahead and take a look at some of your drivers to look for, especially in these playoffs. Okay, here Kendorian Davis out on track right now, leading your points. The sizable gap right now back to P2. Remember, Kendorian just had a fantastic playoffs since he started. And remember, ended off the regular season hot with those 2 wins at Atlanta. Came out and has just really raced really well throughout the playoffs here. It's really put him in a good spot here to race for a championship. So at 88 right now, currently P4 in practice, currently coming out here leading your points. Brian Wyatt back there in 10th. He will actually come in P2 in points in that 84 Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shops machine. But he is 47 points behind. Remember, this is kind of like a chase style format for these drivers, so he's going to need a huge race. He's going to need really Kendorian to have a really bad race here. Unfortunately, we only see 11 drivers out on track right now. We'll actually go ahead and pull up your ticker for fastest drivers in practice right now. And you'll see right now, only 11 drivers out on track. So not as much as we'd like to see. We've even seen, race control JJ Moore out here. His machine trying to run some laps. We'll actually take a look at him. That Pepsi machine, really nice looking car for JJ. Obviously, JJ just come out here trying to give us some more drivers to fill out the field, I think. Maybe just going to run some practice laps. I don't know. We'll see. We'll go back to some of your drivers to look for this championship. Gabriel Goli in this 55, a familiar sight to see here in the Prestige Cup Series. Right now, P3 in points. Currently back there in P9 and P9 in practice right there. See him almost a second off the pace of your fastest in practice here. So hopefully this 55 can figure something out here and get some race pace here. Obviously, practice and qualifying in anything. Especially if we can just go 11 drivers. Hard if this 55 can find some pace to drive up to the field. And back at P4 in points, my young blood. Not on the racetrack right now. Not in the session either, so be huge for Wyatt if he can't make the race. Back there in P4 in points. Go back to P5 in points. DJ Hanley. New scheme for him in the 13 in this 13. A new famous sponsor in this TH Designs machine. Obviously TJ owner and designer here for TH Designs. Really good looking paint for him, and that blue and white kind of, I would say, Christmassy looking machine. Obviously Christmas is around the corner here. It's sneaking it up, I think, on everybody a little bit quicker than you want. Actually, I don't think that's Christmas. I think those are just like mountains or something. Looks like some mountains on that machine. Going back to P6 in points. Joeph Enright, last week's winner at Michigan. Obviously, we couldn't call the race here as I was out of state there. I'm watching the playoff race in Talladega with a lot of good friends and family and everything else. So, unfortunately, we couldn't make the Michigan race, but we did here at this 7. Brought it home in victory lane. So, congratulations to Joeph on that win last week. And I believe his second win of the season here, the Prestige Cup Series. Congratulations on that win, and that's definitely propelled him up like 5 spots up there, P6 in points. Wyatt Thompson, also a driver, has not made his way into the session. We'll go back to Benjamin Bushnell, P7 in practice in this familiar 25 machine. Back to P8. that case in the 66, also nowhere to be found. We'll move on to, is Oliver Quinney in here? Oliver Quinney, also not here. Brandon Kiger, not in the session. Going back to Christian Zarate will be the first driver I know that's out on the track right now, sitting here in this 99 Fast Cash Racing Products Designs. Actually, Fast Cash Racing Designs machine. Racing Products there as a sponsor. He's right now P3 in practice, so it really needs a. I really think he's put himself out of any of racing for a championship right now. 106 points behind Dorian. So continue to go through if we can find some guys. Justin Wilkes on the session. Gio Turpin right now sits P6 in that familiar 42 machine. It's all the way back there in 14th points. Nicholas Amons. I did not see him in the session. Well as Jordan Fisher has not shown up since we've started the playoffs here. Only 7 starts for that driver. It's unfortunate as Jordan looked like he might have had this championship under locks. But make the rest of the season here. But now currently fastest at practice is 73, the green machine car right here by McDonald. Shown a lot of pace here recently. The playoffs here in the postseason, obviously not race for a championship, but still been quick in these latter races. So, but we get ready to look. About 6 minutes left in practice. We'll actually go on board with some of these drivers. They'll take you a lap around the track, show you the lines, show you the way around here at Phoenix International Raceway. Oh. See the 7 and some suspicious things there. We'll go on board with someone else who's actually trying to run some laps here. Go on board with Elliot Fortier. I believe is how you say that. Newcomer to the Prestige Cup Series. You'll see here, this is the unique thing about Phoenix. Come down here, for anybody that's new who doesn't really know about Phoenix, you can come down here and cut that dog leg and get some time out of there if you want. You'll have to come down there, run that bottom down there out of 2. Coming here into 3 and 4, a little bit of a blinking out of the 03. Really do want to go down there and route that yellow line and get a good launch out. Go back to the line. See Ellie right there run a different line. You don't have to go down there all the way down and cut off the dog leg. You can come up and still stay on the racing surface. Some people will do that. Some people say it, saves a little bit more tire and not cut the dog leg. Some people just don't really like to chase it because that car can get really out from underneath you if you do it in the wrong way. On board with one of your playoff drivers, Gabriel Goalie, 55. Right there, really get down to that yellow line. Hug it, out, get a good exit. Go down, cut this dog leg. Here, now you're correct. We are drifting here at Phoenix. Shift down there mid corner, trying to get those RPMs down, actually get them up to launch out of the corner here. Keeping it 4th, come all the way down here, try to wrap this yellow line once again. Got the dog leg. There you have it. Laps here around Phoenix for you fans at home. Just under 4 minutes left in practice. These drivers, we'll go ahead and take a little bit of a little blimp static shot, and you'll see this track. I mean, look how unique it is. I mean, there's not really a track we go to on the schedule that is like Phoenix. Obviously, you can see, somewhere like a Richmond, you down here at 3 and 4. But I mean, it's just so unique, and obviously it's a big track that you'll see in real life, because obviously the championship races come here for quite some time, and it's really emphasized this track on the schedule. Phoenix, since the reconfiguration and stuff, hasn't been the most popular
JJ,
track
you got the wrong number.
that we've seen in the on the schedule. But the teams have had to emphasize coming here and racing for championships. I know a lot of leagues, just because the championship in real life, that Phoenix comes to Phoenix every season, crown of champions. So it really has emphasized, just this track and what it means to these drivers to come here and be competitive. But obviously we know now that next year, 2026, we'll be going back to Homestead Miami Speedway, where the championship used to be held for a long, long time there, back into the 2010s, all the way up until, the late 2010s, where they switched it back to Phoenix. And we've been coming here ever since, but a lot of cries to come back to Homestead were found, and now, obviously, we do come back to Homestead Miami Speedway for the championship, for the NASCAR Truck Series, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and the Camping World Truck Series. I mean, the Craftsman Truck Series, my apologies. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, what people do with this track now that it's not the championship venue. Obviously, now it comes down to, I believe, it's one date on the schedule, which will be that spring date. So obviously, it was cool to see Phoenix host the championship. Obviously, as a big Kevin Harvick fan, I was a big Phoenix guy myself, as Harvick was undeniably really good here throughout his career. So, but as we see practice start to tick down here, start to see some drivers try to pick up some time, try to figure out what they can do here in these lasting laps. A couple of guys. Here comes Zach Case on track, one of your playoff drivers. I'll bump up our times up to now 14 drivers on track. Zach Beekman out on track. 95, good to see him out on track in that 4-mile machine. Zach Case out here trying to run some couple laps here while he has the time, about just under a minute left in practice. So it'll allow these drivers to get ready, get set up for qualifying. Obviously, qualifying is going to be huge here, because with this kind of short track style package, we know that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to pass here at Phoenix. It drives kind of like a short track, but obviously it's a lot bigger than like a Bristol or Martinsville. It drives it, it's a very technical track here. It's a very difficult track here. Not only, in any other track, any other car, but this next gen really makes it difficult for these drivers to get lap time out of here. But we'll see as practice winds down. Eli McDonald with a 20. Okay, well, I think that's a little bit okay. Right now it says a 25.6 for Eli. I think that might be a legitimate time. We did the drivers wall popping in practice. We'll just have to see. We'll get ready to qualifying underway here from Phoenix Raceway. Like I said, qualifying is going to mean everything with the track position game. But as far as I don't track already, go ahead and look at your fastest of practice. Eli McDonald out on track. Drivers get 2 laps. Well, 5 minutes to set 2 laps here, so plenty of time here at Phoenix. Obviously, we saw about 25 to 30-second lap times from these drivers, so plenty of time for these drivers to come out here and run a good lap. Eli McDonald right now, 27.1. Gonna come up here and rip the wall. Benjamin Bushnell goes up to the pole, 26.79 for that 25 machine. We'll see what Eli can do here this final lap. 27 flat, so a little bit quicker, but not enough. Right now, Gabriel Ngoli actually takes your pole, 26.67. Flat for the 55. Bushnell comes back with the 485. Everybody's swapping this pole back and forth right now. So Gabriel Ngoli will drop back to P. Now P3 is Gio Turpin out on track. That's his first lap, 26.616. Back across the stripe. We'll see if Gio can improve on that time. Like he's gonna about break even right there. Improves to a 5.89. Enough to keep him in third, but not enough to improve. Christian Zerati out on track right now. He's gonna be to complete his first lap. 26.87. Good enough for P5. Going down the backstretch for the final time for this 99 machine. See what Zerati can do. Seems to be up right now. 26.4. That's your pull for now. Good lap by the 99 machine. 26.389. Wow, what a lap. Brian White. Like he's completed his 2 laps. Something might have happened to that machine. Dorian Davis to complete his second lap. 6.8. Not enough to beat that first time, so he'll go back to P5. Wait on some driver. Looks like some driver's still running some laps out right now. Even Bushnell still in that P2 spot, so a good lap for him. 26.485 for that 25 machine. And slow that car down to a whoa. And we'll wait. Right now, Wyatt Thompson, JJ Moore, Zachary Beekman, Jonathan Dolly. Drivers who have not decided to set a lap yet. But with 49 seconds, I don't imagine they're going to have enough time to set a lap even if they want to. So those drivers will have to start from the back, as well as Brian White, who did set 2 laps, but either knocked the wall down or went off track, did something wrong on those 2 laps for the 84. He'll start from the rear end of the field as well. Like that, Christian Zerati take full for the night's race here for the Fulls of Honor 150 here for Phoenix Raceway. Get ready to go green here. Just a moment. I'll wait. We'll talk about your race sponsors and your race ads here. Thank you so much to Backmarker for all they do here for this league here. You use code PRS10 at checkout for all your Backmarker needs. Shout out the admin box for everything they do as well. Use code PRS box at checkout here to help out the Cup Series. Shout out to Team Boss for all they do, helping wounded veterans get some service animals and everything out. Also, make sure to help them out. Help the Prestige Racing League fundraise some money for them. I mean, it's a great cause, and I mean, we always have to help out our veterans when we can. And lastly, got a huge shout out to 4 Mile Promotions. If you're looking for any promotions or anything else like that, any production, I see some 4 Mile cars out here on track. But if you're looking for any of their needs, make sure to use code PRS15 at checkout for 15% off if you're 4 Mile promotion. Well, just for a second, wait on these drivers to get ready to get going here. 150 laps, obviously, here from Phoenix Raceway. The penultimate race here for the Prestige Cup Series, here the second season here for the Prestige Cup Series. Obviously, this race is going to be important. It's going to be huge here. Comes to who can do what. We'll get ready to get your starting lineup here, presented by High Velocity TV. We get ready to go. So obviously, we saw Christian Zarate take your pole here with that 46.389. Benjamin Bushnell in the 25 going to lead that outside lane. That case, the 66 will be P3, and rounding out that top 4 in that second row is going to be Joeph Turpin in the 42. Good laugh for that driver. And Dorian Davis, P5 in that 88 machine, with TJ Hanley to be with Gabriel Ngoli, my apologies, going to be P6. TJ Hanley, P7, with Elliot Fortier in that 03, making his debut here in the Prestige Cup Series. He's going to be back there running out that top 8. Eli McDonald, 73, he's going to qualify P9. Remember, fastest in practice, but not the qualifying effort he probably wanted. And Joeph Enright, last week's winner, to round out your top 10 in that 7 machine. P11, Wyatt Thompson, and everybody else behind here did not set a lap. So Wyatt Thompson, JJ Moore in the 5 machine, Dolly back here in the 74, Zachary Bigwin in the 95, and Brian White will round out your field here back at P15. Just like that, you see the pace car has already made his way down pit road. We're going to get ready to go. 150 laps here from Phoenix as we get ready to go into the restart zone for the penultimate race here for the Prestige Cup Series as we are green. Christian Zarate coming down pit road. Maybe a penalty to that 99 machine. It looks like a black flag, but I'll actually give Zach Case the race lead here coming into lap 2. Zach Case, remember, needs to have a good race here to put himself in a good spot, and Dorian Davis will go back to that P2 position. Everybody getting kind of single filed out here at the start of the race, but back here we are starting to see some passing. 77 of Wyatt Thompson going underneath the dog leg to try to cut it. Be side by side with the 13 of Hanley back there for P6. A little bit of contact between the 13 and the 77. Coming down here in the out of 2, down the backstretch, going to be side by side, but between that 66 and the 13 going into 3. 77 with a good exit will clear TJ Hanley. Take over that P6 spot, but further back, actually further up ahead at 88, starting to get pressured. The 42 of Joeph Turpin trying to put the pressure on right now. Battle starts to die down a little bit. Something that we didn't even really talk about here in the pre-races is tire management. You know, Phoenix really does wear out the tires, and it's gonna play a role here tonight. It definitely will. Also, something to talk about here. 150 laps here from Phoenix. We do have a stage caution at lap 40, so we're just approaching 35 to go here. Till the completion of stage 1. 5 sets of tires total, 4 on the pit road, 4 additional pit road, and then obviously they have the 5. The 5th set is the one that they the track with, and it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, I think 5 sets is gonna be plenty. These drivers to make do. A little bit of battle back here between P5. 73 already has a little bit of nose damage. He's going to start to fall off the pace here. Phoenix is one of those tracks that aero isn't going to matter, right? Even though you would consider it a short track, it's still big enough that the aero, you really do need to have that aerodynamics to, oh, as you see, the 73 hard into the outside wall. The aerodynamics will affect the way that car is going to drive. And you're already starting to see the 73 not turning well. He's getting up into the outside wall. He's really going to need that stage 1, or maybe just a caution neutral to help save that machine. Zachary Beekman trying to drive his way through the field here in that 95 machine. Really drives it in there to get an outside wall, and will actually get passed back by the 74 of Jonathan Dolly. Jonathan showing some speed here and there. Wish they got caught up in, some wrecks when he's made his couple of starts and really put a dampener on his season. But Jonathan right now back there in the P5 and in P11. My apologies. Eli McDonald just continues to fall back. Got passed by the 13 of Hanley, and it's going to continue just to fade and fade as long as that damage continues to sit. Oh, you see him locking up the front tires. That's going to allow JJ Moore to get inside. He's going to cut the dog leg and try to get side by side with the 73 machine. So, the 73 a little loose as well. Wow. He's not handling right. That should allow JJ to get through. Joeph Enright will try to make a move on the 73 to get around him in a swiftly manner. I have to give a huge hats off to the 66 who's leading the race, that case. Showed up with like 4 minutes left in practice, maybe ran 4, 5, 6, 7 laps, and put the thing in third in qualifying. And with that said and done, takes the race lead away as we have a caution out on track. Looks like Eli McDonald with a lot of damage to that machine. We'll try to see what happened between the 74. To get up into the wall, and yeah, it just comes across the 7's nose. Yeah, and not really anything the 7 can do there. Obviously, we know that 73 has been struggling for handling and grip and everything with that damage. Gets up in an outside wall here. And Enright, really nothing he could do. Holding his line, and the 73 just comes down. And cleans himself out, fortunately. And Eli McDonald will come to a halt here. Right into turn 3. A lot of damage to that machine. That will be a caution every day of the week. Some drivers down pit road. Obviously, Zarate. I don't know what happened to Christian. Obviously, got on the pull. Got a black flag. Or maybe there was a penalty from Michigan that he had to serve. Obviously, admins do go through post-race and look at some incidences that potentially could happen and give out penalties post-race. That's what happened in that 99. Maybe it had a drive-through to start the race here. I'm unsure, but he'll be back here still on the lead lap. He's got a fast race car. He will try to claw his way back to the field. And I want to know maybe if that's what gave Zach Case lead there. Obviously, Zarate had the pit. You look at someone like Benjamin Bushnell back there in P4. He started outside front row. Maybe just gonna get a good jump because he kind of had to react to everybody else. Allowed the 66 to jump up there and take the lead. We did have some drivers come down pit side. Zarate back here in the 99. See Brian White, obviously, back here. Elliot Fortier back here in the 03. Gamer subs machine coming down pit road, and obviously Eli came down there and took some damage. Still quite a bit of damage to the right side of that machine, but I'm gonna try to limp it around here and try to make something out of it. Like that, you already saw the pace car coming down Pay Road. Now it's going to be a 66 and 88. Toyota Chevy front row. We're going to get ready to go green. We're going to get ready to go back into the restart zone. We'll be going back green with 16 laps complete here at Phoenix. Pretty decent jump out of the 66 to keep the lead. That allowed Joeph Enright, who started on the bottom behind the 66, to get around the 88 of Kendall and Davis. I'll give Joeph Enright that P2 position. The 88 machine and make something happen. We have a battle back here on further on back. 3 wide here for the P4 position. P5 position, my apologies. As you see the 7 of Enright side by side with 13 of Handley. Handley gonna come on, make contact with the 7. They both save it. What a save by the 7 now. 4 wide going down to dogleg. Maybe saw an opportunity, and I'm gonna stick it down there. Now still 3 wide going out of turn 2. Have to figure this out sooner or later. You see some guys out in the back catch the wall. Probably actually back out of that battle now. Supposed to be side by side for the P5 position. It's gonna be the 7 versus the 13. Inley go down there, cut the dog leg. Try to make something happen here. You should be able to clear the 7. With these here, you see the 55 and Bully get up in that outside wall. Inley clears. Gonna block the 7. Good defensive driving from Inley. Enright will now pick the bottom. Hanley's gonna have to get a good exit here. It's gonna allow him to get side by side now. There's now Enright will cut the dog leg. Now make them side by side now again. But they'll be cars flipped. The 13 on the top, the 7 on the bottom, and the 13 gets a good jump off the top lane here. Will re-clear. Now the 7 will be under pressure from the 5 machine. That's AJ Moore. AJ will clear. The 7 is wreck at the back. That's Christian Zarate in the 99. Happening. Oh man, I think we might have had a little bit of a netcode incident back here. You'll see the 95 come up track here, and I think he definitely gets the 99, but now you see netcode. I think that 95 would have got him anyways, but 95 to the back end of the 99, and a good by everybody else to get around and not make any contact. I think not really any damage to that 99 machine, but besides a little bit of hurt feelings potentially. Yeah, you see really no damage to the 99, but lucky for him that someone didn't come plowing in and completely destroy that Fast Cash Racing Designs machine. But that will throw the caution here for second caution in the night here from Phoenix Raceway. With that, we'll continue to count the laps down until we get to the end of stage 1 here. We'll re-rack him once again. Some drivers down pit side. You see Brian White came out of the pit road here once again. The first drivers who pitted right here, obviously Zarate in the 99 came down. Like took some optional, no actual tires here, but you saw the 77 of Thompson, Bushnell, Beekman, 40A, Eli McDonald's still down here taking some damage. So these guys at the very least took maybe some tires, I would say. Be hard to say, but it looks like 10th on back down pit side. Be ready to look at your choose cone. And man, what a race for Zach Case. Look at this, 23 out of 24 laps led with a 66 machine. I believe he has led every lap here. I guarantee you one of those laps that not counting him for was probably like something like this, where maybe the 42 barely nudged out ahead here under caution or something like that. Gave him the opportunity to get that lap led bonus. Saw the pace car once again. A hard left turn down pit road. We're counting down the laps until we get ready to end this stage. So 16 laps to go here. Stage 1, 66, 42. Toyota front row will lead us back to green here from Phoenix. And a really good jump out of the 66 that time. Now allow the 88 of Cadori Davis to try to get side by side with the 42. Try to retake that second place spot again. A little bit of contact between the two. Enough not to do anything bad, but it's going to be side by side here for the second spot. Cadori's going to have the preferred line here down on the bottom. And Giro hold on here. I think he will. Now they're going to battle here for the P3 position. AJ Moore has climbed his way up to the field here in that number 5 machine. In my opinion, that's one of the coolest things to watch here at Phoenix, especially on these restarts. Seeing these cars paying out, trying to make some positions on the restart makes it really interesting here. But see the 5 all over the rear end of the 88 trying to make something happen. As you'll see side by side back here, TJ Henley and the 7 of Enright making some contact, racing for the C5 position. Will drive it through here. Look at that 7 machine, but the 7's gonna cut that dog leg. Get some time up, he won't. I'll give that position to the 13 of Handley, give him that P5 position. Got a big gaggle of cars back here, all over each other. Brian might have started to drive his way through the field with those fresh Goodyear tires. His contact with the 77. Wow, what a heads-up drive by everybody. Christian Zarate is going to take advantage of all that. That's probably a 3-for-1 position move right there, as Zarate tries to drive his way through the field once again. Zarate side by side with the 95. Remember, these two have already made contact prior already. See if 95 will give him any trouble. No. 99 will clear. Bring him up in the P8. Approaching 10 laps to go here in stage 1. If the drivers can make some spots up here to try to get some position here. You see now the 77 get around. Joeph Enright, Wyatt Thompson up into the P6 position. Gio Turpin did not let this 66 get away. That case has a rear end full of this 42 machine. Better right now. If he can hold on here. 8 to go. Trying to get the throttle down to get around this 66, but in that case, doing a really good job with the defensive driving. Further on the back, JJ Moore still putting the pressure on to this 88 machine. I think JJ's doing a really good job being patient. Remember, you know, JJ's just here to kind of fill the numbers. Obviously, race control for you for the Prestige Cup Series. So, runs the league now with Zachary Beekman stepping down, owner and chairman of whatever you want to call the league. And JJ being patient right now. He knows he doesn't really have anything to race for. He's just trying to be patient, trying to race everybody clean here. But you see he had let the 77 of Thompson by, not Youngblood. Those two Wyatts got me confused all season. See, that 77 has kind of come to life here in these last couple laps. Remember, he did come here and get fresh tires. You'll see him getting around to 88. Maybe he has enough time to run down to race leader, maybe win stage 1 and flip the stage. He's looking really quick right now. And everybody else around him have ran about 30, almost 40 laps on these tires. Well, he only has 15 on these tires. Oh, it's 42 going to squeeze him up into the outside wall. Oh, once again, a little bit of a door check from the 42. Oh, and then the 77 is going to return the favor. Really does not want to give up the spot, but he's going to get cleared by the 77. With that, I don't know if that's going to give him enough time to run down to 66 here. We'll see. I mean, the Tribe will be going 1 to go here in stage 1. Try to do it. Send it in here. I think Zach's just going to let him have it. Ooh. Side by side, no. 77's going to take it. He's going to clear the 66 here on the last lap of the stage. Like that, Wyatt Thompson will take stage 1 here from Phoenix. What a drive to the field for the 77. Obviously had the fresh tires. Decided to flip that strategy to get himself up here. Obviously, I assume he'll probably come down with everybody else. And he basically just burned his head here in stage 1. We'll have to see what the 77 decides to do here, but you'll see him catch the pace car. It'll be Thompson, Case, Turpin, Davis, Moore, Bushnell, Hanley, Zerati, anyway, Brian White back there in 84 will take your last stage point here from stage 1. We'll see pit stops happening on the way here, but we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break and let our partners over at iRacing talk to you guys for just a quick second. We'll be back right after these pit stops.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Phoenix Raceway as we just completed stage 1 here from Phoenix Raceway here for the Prestige Cup Series. Here for the chase, an ultimate race here for these racers. We're ready to get back down here. We have some pit strategy that happened throughout stage 1 here. Look at that, that 95 Zachary Beekman. Familiar sight to see here. Glad to have him back here in the Prestige Cup Series race for these last couple of races, hopefully. You'll see the 95 up front. A little bit of a bit different strategy call. Tried to get himself up here inside the top 5 here. He'll actually lead us back into the restart. In that case, we'll win the race off pit road out of the regular 4-tire stops. He'll be outside that front row. And Dorian Davis and Benjamin Bushnell on that 25 will be your fast 4 coming here into the restart zone to start stage 2. Remember, no more guaranteed cautions for the rest of the race, so we'll see what these drivers can do here as we get ready to go back to the restart zone. We'll be green here to start lap 45 here from Phoenix. A decent jump out at 95 is going to allow that 88 to get side by side with Zach Case in that 66. That 66 has basically been untouchable by Reckon in the back. Jonathan Dolly going to spin it out here. See if we get a caution. No caution yet. We'll keep it green here. With all that said and done, Dorian Davis is actually taking the race lead away. And the 95 of Beekman started the fade with those oldie tires. So he looks like to be side by side here. Further on back here, you see the 25 of Bushnell, the 55 of Gabriel Bully side by side here for P5. Going down into the dog leg, you see the 55 cut it. You see the 25 stay up. They're going to have to negotiate around the 95 here with these oldie tires. Beekman trying to hold on to everything he has. So here comes the 25 up top. He's going to use that top lane to get around him, followed by Joeph Enright. You see Joeph Enright. He's trying to rip this wall. Getting on him on the top. 95 has been really adamant about trying to stay on the bottom, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to make all these cars get around him on the top, but if you want to get around him, you're going to have to get around me the hard way. Now the 55 of Bully, I think he's lost a lot of track position. Kind of stuck up behind this 95 machine, but he'll finally make the pass here going in the 3 and 4. That 95 started on the pole all the way back, back to P11. So for the battle for the lead here, Zach Case is not allowed the 88 to get away at all. Right, tucked up behind him, you saw a little bit of a wiggle out of the 66. Not enough to let that 88 get away quite yet. Stanley getting back to P3, a little bit of a blinking issue out of him. And Benjamin Bushnell up here, doing a good job. And up here, putting himself in a good spot to go up here to the podium. trying to get around on the top. Going to use that second lane to get around this 25 machine. Here comes the 25. He's trying to make a move here on the 13. Gonna be looking almost 3 wide here down into turn 2. A little bit of a contact between the 42 and the 13. Henley getting used up a little bit by the 42s. Whoa, the 66 up ahead with a huge mistake. What a save by the 66. That could have been a sport ender. He didn't catch that machine. He would lose a lot of time and a lot of track position here. And that battle for that lead is completely gone away as the 66 tries to hold on to this machine. We'll go back and see if we can find what happened to the 66 here. Go out of 2. Wow, just gets super out of. I mean, he completely loses that. Loses it again. Just tries to get up out of the way. What a save by the 66 there. Keep it going there. I mean, that was almost car killed, and he somehow saved that machine. Lead him back here in P4. Have to work his way back up to the field here. Got to get those tires cooled back down. But you know, the 66 got a fast machine under him. Needs to get back up there. I'll get P2 up to Benjamin Bushell. He's gotten around the 42. Turpin. And what a good run for this 25 machine. Now, if I had any track circled on the calendar for this 25, it definitely would have been Phoenix. I thought maybe it was a mile and a half. You know, we've seen this 25 be pretty decent mile and a half, but it really showed up and showed out here at Phoenix, as well as the 66. Because once again, the 66, man, I think it was out of control. I don't even know how he got back up here to P4. Going up the race leader, he's got a little bit of a cushion here, about a second gap behind to the 25 machine and the 42. Yeah, a little bit of a clear sights. Gonna allow Ken Boy to reshape some equipment right now. Allow Ken to kind of spread around. What I love to see as a leader, right? Any kind of gap. His caution is out. Like maybe Jonathan Dolly might have had an issue here. We'll see if we can find this wreck. Let's further on back here. Back here, let's see. Contact with the 99, 73. There it is right there. I don't know if that, I mean, it's kind of hard to call. On board with the 73. And then look at it, the steering damage. Yeah. Wrong place, wrong time for the 03 of Elliott. And the 72 is completely broken. Tried to turn for the corner, it just wouldn't turn, so bad when you have that kind of damage. And a bad day for Eli McDonald, just keeps getting worse, so fortunate. A second caution he's been caught up in. That's exactly what Kenorian Davis didn't want to see. I mean, he had about a second gap the 25 and that 42 who were battling it out for P2, and who's kind of just sitting there, hoping that. I think Ken wants it to go green here, but only he can know whether that or not. But right now, I don't really know who you could call a favorite here for tonight's race. And looks really quick. That 66 looks really good as well. I think Gio Turpin has some pace. I think if JJ Moore wants to be aggressive, I think he can come up here and potentially race for a win. Obviously, you look at someone like the 99 of Christian Zarate. He got the pole for tonight's race, so he could at least run some good laps. Even the 13 of Hanley has looked pretty fast tonight. You look at Wyatt Thompson. He won stage 1. There's just so many talented drivers out tonight. I'm not here to get a win. Just saw that pace car take a hard left turn. Remember, pit road starts a lot earlier than a lot of these other tracks, so you still do have to go down the front stretch here, or technically the back stretch. And we'll get ready to go into the restart zone once again and start lap 61 and 150 here. For the Bulls of Honor 150, we get ready to green. Dorian Davis leads us back to green. Good jump by the 88, and you'll see those cars fan out back there. 34 wide. 55 a goalie. Putting his car down there, gonna have to force someone to back out. 3 wide down the front, down the back stretch. He's gonna have to give. Go 3 wide there. Gio Turpin further up here. Putting some pressure on. Out of the 42. I really like Cam's line that he's doing. It's not hyper aggressive like this 42 is. You see he kind of drives it down, lets the car wash up, and then tries to get back to the 88. The 88 is really kind of trying to roll, trying to let the car kind of, especially here in the 1 2, goes to that little line and kind of roll down there. Good exit off, tries to keep the lead here. This is the 42, he's trying to arc the corner. And it is fast. It does burn up those tires. No guaranteed cautions. If I'm a driver, I always set up my car for the long run because there is no guaranteed cautions. If you burn yourself up now, trying to get the race lead, we don't get a caution, you're kind of in a really bad spot. Side by side racing further on back, JJ Moore. Gonna put some pressure on the 7 of Joeph Enright. Got this apron dogleg. Almost contact with the 7. Everybody for the most part has gotten single file except this battle back here for P8. AJ Hanley trying to make a move underneath the 55 of goalie. Not going to make it work. Now here comes the 77. Wyatt Thompson. Oh, almost contact. There is contact between the 13 and the 77. Wyatt will drop back in line. Here comes the 7 of Enright. Move on to 5. I just love to see the racing. I mean, see all kinds of lines working. Oh, the 55! Whoa! Look back out. Really forced the 13 of Henley there. Give him the space he needed to. They're racing hard back here outside this top 5. Henley trying to negotiate around the 77. On a little bit fresher tires than these guys, so I'm gonna try to get around them as quickly as they can. Everybody, and now Anthony has like about 11 laps on these tires versus like everybody, really everybody in front who has 27 laps on these tires. Zach Case, I didn't even look at him, has ran away once again with the fresher tires. Took the lead away from Turpin to Davis, and is just completely driven away from the rest of the field here. Second and a half. 66 machine. What a drive out of Zach Case. I mean, he's just been on fire all day today. I think that race, his race could have been up in smoke there if he didn't save that car there out of 2. Battling for the race lead with Ken Davis there. He doesn't save that car. He's not in the lead right now. So what of a turn of events for the 66 machine. That Case continuing to pull away for the rest of the field, almost 2.5 seconds. Dory Davis still trying to fight off this 42 machine. Back to the third, and right in his tire tracks is a 25. Benjamin Bushnell starting to catch up to these front 2. I really like this line that the 25s are running. Not aggressive. You can tell he's not really pushing the car that hard. Trying to get it down to the bottom, trying to save tires. Come down here and cut the dog leg. And down here in 1 and 2. And just gets it down to the bottom, just kind of lets it roll. Not pushing it at all. Allowing him to keep up with the second and third here. Davis and Turpin. He's just doing a fantastic job. Giving himself an opportunity. Pretty much single file throughout the field here. Everybody's kind of found where they need to run. You see Girardi getting himself back up inside the top 5. Got JJ Moore all over the back end of him. That moment in the run, right? We ran, what, 35 laps here, I think, on these tires, right? And we ran about 20 laps on these tires. lot of these guys have almost ran 40 laps. So it's that time of the race where we kind of have to sit and see who's going to do what, right? Obviously, I'm not sure what fuel looks like. I presume because this track is only about a mile long, you can definitely do more than 40 laps. So we'll have to see. No one drivers decide to come down and make that hard left turn on the pit road to, top off fuel, get some fresh, fresh Goodyear tires. Now that 25 ran down to 45, the 42 of Turpin. Ooh, gonna have to negotiate around the 73. I mean, I'm surprised he's even trying to put that thing around the track with how terrible the handling has been for that McDonald machine. He likes trying to be cordial, trying to keep it out of the way. Get out here, potentially it's certain for the speed 3 position. I'm trying to run down this 42. You talk about, smooth is fast. I feel like this is the track that matters the most, right? You could try to be sloppy with your inputs at a lot of tracks to get away with it. But here, being smooth, being consistent, really does reward you a lot. Yeah, Phoenix. With how the track is, with how the braking zones are, you have to be consistent. That's what will help you save tires. That will help you in the long run, right? Remember, you can't save too much tire because then it's not going to matter, right? That's what I'm worried a little bit about the 25 right now. So we've seen the 99 of Zerati and JJ Moore kind of slowly reel in this third, fourth place driver. Zerati's almost to the back end of the 25 now, so I'm pushing now. If I have anything left in the tank, I need to get around this 42. It might be a little bit slower than me right now. Grab the 99 in that 5, it'll start to breathe down your neck and put a lot of pressure on you. We go back to the race leader. Almost 5 seconds. He is out to the rest of the field. I mean, he's out to lunch here while everybody else is just trying to make breakfast. So, what a run for the 66. Obviously, he has the freshest tires in the field. I don't know how he managed to get this strategy to work the way he needs it to. But the 66 is out front and still continue with the pull away on the rest of the field. And he's trying to do everything he can, but at best, he's matching 66 lap times. So, obviously, we talked about Joeph Enright. Has been basically under pressure this whole run at his 25 machine. We've ran about 30 laps here. Got about 45 laps on really everybody besides the race leader, all the way down to P7 of Wyatt Thompson. They all have 45 laps on these, now 46 laps on these tires. We're approaching 60 to go here from Phoenix, so we should be approaching green flag pit stop soon. See what can happen here, but speaking of Wyatt Thompson, he's actually driven his way up to the field here. Gonna get around the 5 machine. DJ Moore will give him the spot. He's going to try to get around this 99. Christian Zerati. This is the second time we've seen the 77 have a lot of long run pace. Granted, in that first stage, he had fresher tires. And now he doesn't. He has 47 laps on these tires, just like everybody else does. He's starting to drive to the field here, trying to negotiate around the 99 of Zerati. Joeph Turpin starting to fall back as well. Got passed by the 25 of Bushville. Now going to be in the clutches of the 99 and the 77 sooner or later. Right now, Zerati just has to worry about holding this 77 back. I think he's a little bit faster than Christian right now, but 77 just cannot find a way around Zerati. Something you have to think about as well is that, you know, these guys are in a really, really bad spot now because that case, right, he's got 34 laps on his tires compared to the 50 that the others do. He can go a lot longer if he needs to and potentially lap guys before he needs to go in. And if we get a caution, I mean, he could potentially put a lot of guys a lap down because remember, he's got about 15 lap fresher tires, which means 15 more laps of fuel in that fuel tank. So at most, he can go probably 15. If everybody stretches it, he can go 15 more laps than the rest of the field here. Granted, I don't know how much longer we can go. But at this rate, if that case would go 15 more laps, could definitely make it on fuel, so like Joeph Turpin finally coming in the clutches of these front two. Zerati gets around but gets up into the outside wall. Allow the 77 the pass there. I'd get super loose here on entry of really through the dog leg, I guess is what you want to call it. And a 99 will try to battle this 42. Zerati almost cleared. He will clear. Gives Zerati P5. We've seen this with the 42 before, where he's got a lot of pace, but unfortunately just cannot keep the tires underneath him, and will slowly start to fall back. We see JJ Moore, the first down pit side. So he'll be the first car to come down pit road, hop off on some Sunoco race fuel, take those fresh Goodyear tires. Dorian Davis trying to negotiate around the 73, but has been ran down by the 25 of Bushnell. And I mean, this kid has impressed me so much this race. And not shown this kind of speed all season, really. And it's ran down, I would feel like one of your championship favorite right here at the 88. Obviously, something really bad would have to happen to the 88 to lose the championship, because he's got what, a 40, I think, what was it, a 43-point lead going into Phoenix. Even if you finish dead last, he's still going to get decent points because there's only 15 cars that showed up. So Bushnell has been able to stay here within the top 3 all race, but within really the top 5, top 4 conversation all race. I mean, hats off to the 25 machine. Doing a lot of pace and keep this going. Man, you know, he's had a couple of rough races where he had, you know, potentially a good finish lined up and just could not put the pieces together or got caught up in a wreck or something. Hopefully no commentator's curse, but hopefully he can hold on here. Get a good finish. Some more drivers down pit side. Gabriel Goli is going to take his machine down pit road. Actually, he'll exit pit road here. Ackley Beekman just recently came down pit road about 3 laps ago. We'll actually pull up right here. Last lap since pit here. Was that case? Your race leader actually did come down pit side. We missed that. And right now he currently sits back there at P8. First car on fresh tires. I'm surprised to see that, honestly, because he had the freshest tires. He could afford to go a little bit later if he wanted to. But he decided to take that 66 down pit side. Back to your race leader. We'll see when front 2 decide to come down pit road. If the long game run works, I think we'll see the 25 come down pit road here. He get down to the pit road speed, no speedy. Like he'll be fine. Norton will stay out for another lap. I'll give P2 over to TJ Hanley. About 5 seconds on back. Hanley's also one of those cars like the 8 who's got a little bit more tires. Got a little bit less laps on his tires, I guess is the best way to say it. So he can stay out a little bit longer if he wants to. Everybody else, Bushnell, Cerati, 48, who still have, you know, 60 odd laps of tires here. Kadori Davis comes out pit road. Hanley will get a lead lap. Get a lap here, get that bonus point. I'm going to look back here at Kadori Davis. I'm going to look back at Zach Case. Zach Case, coming through 3 and 4 now. He's going to easily get around Kadori, I think. Yeah, Kadori hasn't even gone down pit, hasn't even finished his stop. And here comes Case. Back around. Take with most likely your provisional lead. Kadori just coming on the pit road now. He lost a lot of track position pitting late. I'll drop him back all the way back to P8 now. Becomes goalie to try to get her out in. Now it's up to TJ Hanley. When does he pit? Got a 17 gap lead, right? 17 the second gap. 2 pace with the fresh tires. He needs this to run pretty long here for this to go into his favor, because right now we're in a spot here where we've only got at most of about, looks like 10 laps on these tires from everybody else. If we get a caution here, no one's going to come down pit road again. Top off on fuel, take tires or anything like that. So if a caution were to come out now, it's going to force TJ's hand into coming down pit road. And he's going to start tail end probably the longest line here, most likely, back there in P13. No, actually, honestly, I just thought about this. Lap down cars. Okay, Nolan Davis is actually the first car lap down, but you see him fast approaching the 13 machine. Never mind. I'm gonna take back what I just said there. Yeah, the TJ really needs this to run long, so that they get at least probably 15, 20 laps more on these tires. He could go that long. even if he loses this lead here, he could fall back to P2 and then get a lucky caution here. Or he has to come down pit road. He should force some others to come down with him. But you saw how good the tires were for the 77 when he split the first stage and won stage 1. He ran down 66. And won stage 1, right? The tires do matter. So, I mean, he really needs a caution with about 20 to go, I feel like, if he can make it that long on fuel. Now, he is losing about, let's see, about almost 2 seconds a lap on the dots. So, he's on pace to get caught in about 4 more laps. So, I think you'll see the 13 come down pit road now. So, he's just going to, you know, take the L here, as they say, and come down pit road. Now we'll hand over your lead to Zach Case, who has, as we'll see here as they come by, now a 6 second. No, we'll wait on timing and scoring to pick this up. Yeah, a 6, almost 7 second gap back to Joeph Enright, who also are on old tires. JJ Moore can get around here pretty swiftly. JJ Moore has had a quiet night, but he's worked his way up into probably a provisional P2 spot here. Enright has a lot older tires than these guys up here, so I don't imagine that he can hold on for another 37 laps. But we'll see what the 7 can do. I mean, never say never. As Hanley, that was not the move. I mean, he's a lap down to even these guys now. Obviously, he's got to push his tires in the field by a good 20 or so odd laps. So, I think TJ can drive his way back up there, maybe get his lap back. Now, TJ is the only car 1 lap down, so as long as he's not involved in the caution, he will get the lucky dog and the free pass. But I don't know, man. Everybody's racing pretty cleanly here at the end, trying to get to the finish. So I don't really see a caution coming out in these last 35 laps. A little bit of battle behind you. Wyatt Youngblood, Gio Turpin battling it out for this podium spot. And Youngblood Thompson has been sneaky fast all race here. And at the end here, he's found his way back up here now. He will make the pass on this 42 machine. Thompson has just been sneaky fast all race. He hasn't been up here being flashy. He hasn't been making moves. He's just been methodically working his way through the field. Kind of like the car in front of him right here, JJ Moore. But JJ just came out here to, you know, fill a car, make the race a little bit more interesting. Look at him up here in P2. Matching lap times with your race leader. But with 7 seconds, I mean, he's going to need a vehicle to get him to run him back down. So he was the 10th fastest than Zach that lap, but he's going to need to be a little bit quicker if he wants to try to run down the race leader. With 31 to go, he probably needs to be around 3 to 4 tenths a lap quicker in the 66 to give himself a shot. So he's consistently about a tenth, but he's about 7.5 tenths, so he'd probably need about 70 laps right now at this rate to run down the leader. Obviously, you see there on your timing and scoring, 30 laps to go. So needs to be about 2 or 3 tenths quicker a lap, even give himself a shot. The battles have started to die down here as we approach the end of the race here, and man, really do have to give a round of applause to 66 machine. I mean, we haven't seen a race this dominating since probably Jordan Fisher and Jacob Quill left the series. So, I've seen people like Norton be up front all race and guide himself to a win. But we haven't seen this kind of dominance, like I said, since maybe the 29 and the 39 were still in the series. So. And it definitely wasn't on my bingo card that Zach Case was going to be, you know, dominant here at Phoenix. And it's no disrespect to Zach. It's just, you know, Zach has really shown a lot of speed here in these 1.5 miles. And obviously Phoenix is a very technical, I mean, not really anything like a 1.5 miles. So, good for Zach. I mean, as long as he doesn't get caught up in something stupid, he's gonna definitely come away here with a win. I mean, you look at these laps out, 83 of 124, and a lot of those are just from green flag pit cycle. So, like you saw the 13, we'll go back at Handley here. He probably led a good handful of laps here. He had 8 laps from staying out. Going Davis, yeah, 28 laps. I think that really wraps up everybody else, right? So. I mean, what a dominating performance in that case, but we still have 25 to go. So, not over till it's over, as a good friend of mine says. Still got to get around this track for 25 more times to lock himself into a win. His first win of the season for the 66 machine. All your football fans, all your basketball fans, you have the live timing and scoring down there on the bottom of teams that you might be wanting to check up on. Obviously, you see the Warriors and the Denver Nuggets down there. They just started their game. I think Warriors are up 3-0. The Chargers right now beating up on the Vikings 24-3. And obviously, we do have our college football out there as well. Georgia State versus South Alabama. Looks like a close game going into the 4th. A game between Pacers and the OKC Thunder. So right now, Kendora Davis, one of your fastest drivers on track, but once again, remember, pitted later than everybody else. That's the big caveat. Because he pitted later, those guys with those fresh tires outran him, right? Now he's back here, 7-8 seconds behind the race leader. Granted, he is running them down, but 21 to go. He's going to be about 3 seconds. 3 tenths faster a lap. I don't know if he's got that kind of pace under this 88 machine. Only one who's really eating into this lead is this 5 machine of JJ Moore. Once again, I mean, just under 6 seconds now. He also needs, you know, be about, I would say, 2-3 tenths quicker. Once again, by the caution coming out. Remember, we do still have Eli McDonald out here trying to Just trying to lift this machine around. So a caution is viable. Because I can definitely tell you, we'll go on board with this 73. This thing cannot be easy to drive. Need to get down to get all the way down to the third. Trying to keep this thing on the track, so. You know it cannot be a good time trying to lift this thing around. But you got to give it to Eli, dude. I mean, you have to give an applause to him. I mean, that car is completely destroyed. He's been here sticking it out the whole race. Currently 5 laps down now, but trying to stay on track, trying to get some points. Be a little bit of a contact between him and the 7. Everybody but that 66, I think, wants to see a caution here at the end, give himself a chance. But 66 is that case. I mean, he's getting ran down slowly, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get to him unless he maybe has one of those big mistakes out of turn 2 like we saw earlier this race. If I'm the 66, I'm not even trying to push. You have a almost 5.5 second gap. Try to ride around, try to keep the car underneath you. With 16 to go, I mean, they're going to need to be a lot faster than you to get to you in time, right? Right now, it looks like the fastest guys are only, you know, within a 10th. And that's not going to be good enough to get back to him, so. Looking at time and scoring, the only person who is a little bit quicker is this 25, a Bushnell, who's actually battling with the 99 of Maserati here for this P5 position. But they're also about 9-10 seconds behind, so Bushnell easily make the pass. I mean, he's running equal laps to the leader. Girardi's really falling off right now. Last lap was a 28-1. Oh, okay. I mean, and then Zach's was a 20. Oh, yeah, caution's out. Oh my gosh. Gabriel, goalie slow here on the backstretch. What happened? We're gonna find what happened to this 55. That might have happened out of turn 2. Got the apron, man. Ah. Yeah. That's something that I'm surprised someone didn't get earlier this race. We'll go on board with this 55. You'll see how easy it is just to. You get on that apron just a little bit, the back end, I mean, the car just completely unloads on itself. Pause. You see right there, just the back end steps out. He's trying to save it, lock it down. Unfortunately, just spins it out here. Luckily, no one gets, I don't think anybody makes contact. Went back around. Man, you got to feel for that case in that 55. I mean, that 66 machine. Had this race under locks. I was gonna have to actually fight for it here. Coming out of pit road, Gio Turpin with the stop here. He's gonna win your race off pit road. Wyatt Thompson P2, JJ Moore P3. Is that case? What a heartbreak! He's gonna come out here P4 out of the pit road. Brian White on 38 lap old tires will stay out. See if he decides to come down Perry Road here. Maybe he wants to get that lap lead bonus. Might come down Perry Road here. See if this 84, it looks like this 84 is going to stay out on track here with, I think it's going to be 40 lap old tires as we go green here. We get ready to approach the 10 to go, brought to you by High Velocity TV. Because yeah, two Toyotas will lead us back to green here going to 9 to go. The 84 Brian White and the 42 Joeph Enright. I'm interested to see how they maneuver around this 84. The 84 will not be up to speed here. So if I'm the 77, if I'm the 66, you look back at that case, you gotta be aggressive here. You know that 84 is not gonna go. Are we ready to go? Back green here with Phoenix. We'll see them fan out. Oh, contact between first and second. That's the 77 and the 42. As that 84 is bunching up the bottom lane. Gonna have to try to get around the hard way on the top lane. 84 is gonna back out of it, but that really stacked up the bottom. Now will give you race lead over the Joeph Enright coming with 8 to go. Joeph Enright, JJ Moore, Wyatt Thompson, and Zach Case will go back there in the P4. We'll see if can Zach at least try to get himself back up there into a podium position. Fortunately, I think Zach's strong suit was the long run, and we only have 8 to go. He's got to go. And lucky for Joeph Enright. Oh, caution out. Zachary Beekman, I think, with a huge hit out here, down on the apron. His caution will wave once again. We heard an engine expire in the background there, and we'll take a look and see what happened to the Beekman machine. The Beekman in the 95 here. Happened, I think, going down here into turn 3. Went loose on entry. Just loses it on his own here on the apron. Man, what a he takes out the 7 with him. We talked about this earlier, that some drivers elect to not run the dogleg just for this reason here. We're right on board with him here. And when you lose it, there's no saving it when you go down there on the dogleg. And you have to really be kind of how do I put this? You have to be really delicate with the car here. You have to put it down on the apron at the right spot. You can't be aggressive here. See the car just bottomed out there. And man, what a hit, dude. What a hit. For Zachary Beekman, that will end his race early. That is game over for that 95 machine. Like that with 5 to go. I'll stack your everybody back up. And that is the break that I think Zach Case needs. Like there might be a little bit of a dispute of who gets that P4 position. That Case on the top here, but I think Dory Davis might want that spot. I mean, this P4 spot's going to be huge because we'll be going to green probably with 3 to go, so it will be a natural green-white checkered or a 3-lap dash, whichever. This is the difference between row 2 and row 3, which is only a couple laps to go. That's huge, right? And I feel like being in 4th is going to be a huge advantage because I feel like when I'm in the race car and I want to get a good jump, I want to be in 4th because you have the best view of the leader. when he goes and can time it pretty well. In my opinion, at least. Looks like not Beekman, and it looks like Case will get that P4 position, so I'll put him up inside the second row. We'll see if he can do anything with that. He's one to watch here. Could be hungry to want to get back up there to that race lead. He's gonna need the help of JJ Moore to get a good jump here on this restart. If JJ can't time it, it's gonna be stalled out by that 5 machine. But we do have a new front row. That 5, first time up front, will be lead at the top. As you see the 42 of Joeph Enright. That 42 will lead us back to grid as we get ready to go. 3 laps to go for Phoenix. Just like I said, that 5 did not have a good jump. It's the 66 going to go up there, block the wall a little bit. He's going to try to do a little bit of a wall ride here. He's going to be side by side with Wyatt Thompson there for the P3 position. That Case wants it all. He wants to get back there. He wants to race for this lead. He'll be side by side with the 77 on his outside that time to get ready to go back into 1 and 2. Side by side for P3. That Case is going to shoot it off there on that top lane. They try to do a little bit of a crossover on the 77. Not going to make it work. Dorian Davis with a huge mistake. And Joeph Enright, as he gets ready to cross the start finish line, 1 to go here. Presented by HVTV. Does JJ Moore have anything for this 42 machine going into 1 and 2 for the final time? His contact out back as the 66 is going to move the 77. The 66 is going to get hooked down the backstretch. We'll have to look at that. But coming out of 3 and 4, Joeph Enright is going to win his first race of the season at Phoenix. What a heartbreak for Zach Case there. We'll go back and take a look at it. Man. Down here, this is going to the white. Zach decides to do a little bit of a different line. It goes all the way down underneath the yellow. Comes up, makes some contact with the 77. Keeps it going straight, but it has to lose momentum. Zach, and then Christian Durati trying to make a move. Hooks the 66 up the track. Down he'll go. And what a heartbreak. I mean, he had this race won. But that caution didn't come out. I mean, you gotta feel it for Zach, man. I think we've all been there before. But you gotta feel it for the guys. We'll watch now Joeph Enright put it down here on the front stretch as he wins first race. Congratulations to Gio and that whole 42 team. You earned it, man. Put yourself in the right spot. You come home with the checkered flag. You'll see him parked right there on the start finish line in victory lane. And we'll get ready to start your post race show, but before we'll let all you drivers get into the waiting room and get ready for their interviews. But well, then we're gonna send you back over to our partners at our iRacing. We'll get ready for your post race show just after a quick commercial break. So we'll be right back and talk to your top 3 finishers after a word from our partners.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a iRace or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the post-race show here for the Prestige Cup Series at Phoenix Raceways. We just saw Gio Turpin burn it down here from Phoenix, and we'll watch him drive his way up into the virtual Phoenix Raceway virtual victory lane. And let's go ahead and talk to the driver in that number 42 machine. Hey Gio, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy? Well, your first win of the season here at Phoenix Raceway, and obviously you had a really quick car tonight. Showed really good, I would say, top 3 speed as we see you pull your car here into the virtual victory lane here at Phoenix Raceway. Walk us through your race. Walk us through those last couple of restarts and how you got yourself up here into victory lane tonight. Well, I definitely agree that you came out here and obviously you talked about um going to Dover, not having the race you wanted. Obviously, we all know that you're quick and showed speed here. But coming out to Phoenix, obviously, we thought honestly with the 66 way he was driving, he was kind of out to lunch here. But everybody. I think when I say everybody, everybody got that lucky caution there with the 66. Making a mistake there. Everybody else a chance. Obviously, you took the 2 tires there. But walk us through, just the general race pace of this. It looks like some drivers fell off. It seemed like some drivers kind of helped drive through the field. Do you think, when it comes to setting up the race here, do you think that that's something that all these drivers need to kind of look into, is kind of that long run pace?
Definitely for the second half, it was more noticeable. The first half of the race had a fair share of caution, so I think the longest run was about like maybe 20 or 30 laps. But I did notice as the the run went on that the groove started to move up to the middle lane a little bit in the first stage, first half of the race, and then second half, in 1 and 2, it became like you have to enter it really high and cut down to get the run off the exit. And if you don't manage the tires well, we found out quickly that it's very hard to get that drive off. So definitely, if you expect a race with long runs, then it's definitely going to be something to prepare yourself for and to set the car up and practice for, which is what we struggled with. And we were lucky. I mean, you said we had top 3 pace, but we weren't going to win that race without a yellow, so it all worked out.
That definitely worked out for you, and obviously your first win of the season here in the Prestige Cup Series. So before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank you for your first win here this season?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the whole team, Legacy Sim Club, all the partners on the car, Mobile One being on the car for my first career win, Advent Health, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Carvana, Olipop. What other sponsors do we have? Ally, Lowe's. There's a few other logos on there that you can find, but yeah, just the support of this team, the whole 42. It's not my usual number. I'm usually the 84. Most people that know me, it's what I run. So I'm always happy to win in this 42 car.
Well, once again, congratulations on your first win of the season, and hopefully you can take this momentum back into Homestead. I would see like a generally kind of a similar track where you got to be consistent. But once again, congratulations on your first win of the season. Let you get prepared for your season finale next week at Homestead.
Thank you very much.
How's your race winner, Gio Turpin? Takes it home here from Phoenix as we'll get ready to talk to your other 2 finishers. JJ Moore is I believe this was his debut for us here in the Prestige Cup Series. Obviously kind of an impromptu start for him. Obviously just wanted to get some numbers in here. But let's go ahead and talk to JJ Moore, that number 5 machine. Hey JJ, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, obviously not a full-time driver here in the Prestige Cup Series. Kind of race control, kind of a man upstairs now, taking over the league in some capacities. But decided to come down here and take that number 5 machine out of the garage and race with us here at Phoenix Raceway. But you seem like you had a lot of pace, especially on this long run. But walk us through your race. Walk us how you got up here and did this podium spot.
I kind of just played the strategy. The first part, started at the back. First part of the run, just kind of felt out the car, felt out how everyone raced. Made it up to, I think, 4th or 5th of the stage. Played a little bit of strategy, kind of kept it right there. And kind of burned my tires up the first half. I did a little bit of a strategy call, got some track position, got some clean air, and just held it up front. And then kind of just held P2. There's nothing really much I could have done to get P1, but I think I just did as good as I could have with what I was able to do. Like you said, it's been a while since I ran here. I was just trying to shake off the cobwebs.
Exactly. I mean, taking off the cobwebs, especially at a track like Phoenix, probably not easiest track to come here and kind of run well at. But obviously, you did a really good job here. Looking at those long run, looking at the long run and how it kind of turned out there. Obviously, you have to feel for the 66. Who, I mean, Zach, I think had this race won if that caution didn't come out. But when that caution came out and it allowed you guys to come down pit road, get some fresh Gurdue tires, what was that mindset coming out, knowing that you potentially had a better chance at coming out here and winning?
It was kind of the same thing. I know during that long run, I was slowly chipping away at Case. Not much, a tenth or two a lap, I think, but I thought I could have put up a fight, and seeing lap traffic ahead of him, possibly get closer. But it was kind of just the same mentality, just finish as good as I can. I understand it was a playoff scenario for some of those guys, and they were all fighting for the win because they're all playoff guys. But I was just trying to get up there and see what I could have done, and I feel like I did as best as I could have.
You definitely, I feel like race really respectfully, considering, this is the penultimate race before we go to Homestead for the season finale. Gave these guys a lot of room to race it out and kind of make their destiny out of their own fate there, and it's something really respectful, and I definitely, so many of these drivers very much appreciate you doing. But coming up here in P2, can't complain about that. But before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank here for this P2 spot tonight here at Phoenix?
First, I want to thank Ken, my teammate. He kind of had a night similar to mine. He struggled. He did good early on, started struggling once that pit stop cycle came around, but he still got a decent result. I think he won the championship, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to see what the points are like. Thank all the competition, all the people that were driving out there. Really fun, really clean race. Um, Thank Ken again and Mr. Brian White, two other admins, for all they help with the league. Thank you for broadcasting. Obviously, it's great to see Prestige out on its face. Thank all the viewers at home, wherever they may be. I think that's about it.
We definitely appreciate the kind words up here in the booth. Obviously, we love coming out here and calling the race here for you guys. Obviously, you guys put on a really good racing every week. Come here and try to entertain these fans at home. But again, JJ, congratulations on this P2 finish, and hopefully, whether or not you're up in race control next week or racing with us once again at Homestead, hopefully we can talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. I've heard my win streak, my win number from last season has been in jeopardy, so I may have to come back out for next week at Homestead, see if I can get me a win.
There you go. Well, regardless of what that, congratulations on that P2 finish. Hopefully we can talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was your P2 finisher, JJ Moore. I think that was the best finish, obviously, for him of the season. I think that was his first official race that he's actually partaking in. Obviously, JJ does come in, run some laps in practice, but despite that, good one for JJ, dusting off the cobwebs, coming out here and out with a P2 finish. But last but not least, let's go ahead and talk to you, the 99, Christian Zarate, your pole sitter for tonight's race. Go and see how his race went.
Well, that's fun.
Hey, Christian, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. Got a copy?
Hey, Christian. Christian's got a copy. Hey, what's up, Christian?
Well, P3 finish for you. Obviously started on pole, which really immediately showed that you had quite a bit of pace here. But unfortunately, I don't know if it was a penalty or jump to start. I don't know exactly what happened on the start there, but kind of forced you to drive your way through the field here. But obviously, a little bit of a rough patch here at the start. Obviously, there's some contact between you and the 95 early in the race, but we're able to drive yourself up to a P3 finish. Walk us through your race. Walk us through that finish.
Yeah, so I mean, qualifying kind of proved that the race was gonna be too easy for me, so I just did a drive-through by myself. No, I'm kidding. I was an idiot and I jumped the start as the leader. And it kind of went downhill from there. Actually, I ended up getting a speeding penalty. But the officials decided that there was no way I sped on pit road. Because I don't know, I guess iRacing tweaked with the time boxes, whatever the hell they're called, in the pit road, and yeah, the officials cleared it. So I gotta argue that. And then we just worked our way up from there. We had a very solid car. We were very good on the short runs, medium runs, long runs. I mean, we were very good all around today. Great execution by the team. It's just a shame we couldn't get the win. We did it a lot without a lot of contact. I mean, I had a 0x all the way until that last lap with Zach, which I have no idea what he was trying to do. But yeah, I mean, a top 3 for the night that we had, I think that's a win for us, in my opinion. We haven't been here the past, 3 weeks, so I know we might not be in championship contention, but, in my opinion, I still have something to prove, and I think I did a majority of that tonight.
Definitely agree. Did a good job, making yourself look clean. Obviously, like you said, it had a 0x until 66. Tried to get a couple spots there. I think and honestly, the 66, I felt like had the race won, and I feel like maybe was driving a little bit upset, trying to drive kind of in emergency mode to try to get some spots.
Yeah,
back.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was just upset because he didn't win, because he had an unlucky caution, which it sucks, but at that point you just have to keep your head straight. You gotta keep your panties untwisted, and you just gotta drive with a purpose, and he didn't do that. I mean, I'm not mad at him. Obviously, it didn't cost me anything. In fact, I gained 2 positions out of it, Um, I think that just proves how mental you have to be, how locked in mentally and emotionally you have to be, and just how head straight, sim racing is.
Definitely. But I mean, you did a good job racing your way up to the front. Obviously, a lot of uphill battling throughout the whole field here. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank here for this P3 position?
Yeah, I want to thank Cash Culp for allowing me to race this beautiful Fast Cash racing products car here today. Again, shout out to Fast Cash Racing Products over there. They're doing a tremendous job of what he's doing. He's a great guy, a great racer in real life, and he's someone I look up to. And again, I really appreciate him being able to put me in this situation. I want to thank Chase George, Zachary Trevino, Nicholas Road, Pendorian for allowing me to come out here, JJ for allowing me to come out here. I mean, all around, I think it was a good race today, and I want to thank all the admin for that. And hosted a great race with a decent amount of cars, and hopefully it was fun for the viewers to enjoy.
Definitely a fun race to call up here in the booth, and obviously, yeah, gotta give a huge shout out to admins and all. But once again, Christian, not the first time we talked to you up here in the booth, but once again, congratulations on this podium finish. Hopefully, we can talk to you maybe next week here at the season finale at Homestead.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Hopefully, we get a win. I know we're not in contention, but who says we can't get a win?
Yeah, better go out on a bang. But good luck next week, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Talk to you soon, Christian.
How's your P3 Fisher, Christian Zarati, and that number technically 53 but 99 machine? And just like that, time to wrap it up here from Phoenix. But obviously, what a race! I mean, we've had some ups and downs throughout the whole race, and it was a fun race to call. Obviously, Phoenix is a fantastic facility. Obviously, we know they've put a lot of money into making this a good facility for people to come and watch races, whether it's here in the sim, whether it's in real life. Obviously, there's a reason why the championship has been here for so many years. Um, yeah. Um, Once again, congratulations to Gio Turpin on his first win of the season here at Phoenix Raceway. Obviously, Gio, one of those guys looking in championship, and we'll have to look, but we might have unofficially crowned the champion a race early with Kit Norton Davis. Obviously, Kit Norton just needed to have a decent finish to lock himself into the championship going into Homestead, but we might have just crowned ourselves a champion here at the exit of Phoenix. So we'll have that answer by next week when we will come to Homestead, Miami for the season finale here for the Prestige Cup Series. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator and owner of High Velocity TV. So I appreciate everybody for coming out and watching the broadcast, whether it was on Twitch over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13, whether it was on the High Velocity TV YouTube channel. If you are over on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it if you give a thumbs up, share the broadcast with friends and family. We are a young network trying to grow. If you're interested in, wanting another league broadcasted or wanting to be a part of the HVTV family, whether that's graphic design, producing, commentary, we do pay our talent up here in the booth for their time, whether that is graphic design or whether that is up here producing for commentary. We are looking for people who want to become a part of the HVTV family. So if you guys are eager, make sure to email us over at hvtvbroadcasting@aol.com for any needs you want. Or if you guys have me on Discord, shoot me a DM in there and we can try to get something set up for you guys. But once again, I appreciate everybody for coming out and watching the broadcast for tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the AWC penultimate race, I believe, there for their championship race. But once again, hope everybody has a good rest tonight. See you guys soon.